All right, this is Math 103, Chapter 7, and we're going to be starting measurements within the metric system as well as the English system. So Section 7.1 is basic terms and conversions within the metric system. So a few definitions that we have to go through is starting with what we're measuring. So the very first thing that we're going to be talking about is the type of measurements. And so if we're using a meter, we are commonly using this to measure length. So I think of anything that is being measured in inches or feet or yards or miles, that's going to be measured with our metric version, and that's going to be a meter. And so 1 meter is a little more than a yard. And so just so you know, we're going to get to this later, but a yard is equal to 3 feet. So you can kind of get a visual inside your head of what a meter is going to represent. So a door is about 2 meters high, okay? Then we're going to go to weight or mass, and kilograms or grams are going to be measuring weight or mass. Now, we're going to talk about the difference between mass and weight here just in a little bit. And for our purposes, we're going to find that those are going to be interchangeable words. So 1 kilogram is about 2.2 pounds. So a baby is going to have about a mass of about 3 kilograms, okay? The gram is going to be our base unit, which is derived from the kilogram, and that's going to be our base. And so we're going to learn this saying that where the base is going to change, and that base being meter or gram, or if we get to volume, liter, is going to change. So a nickel has about 5 grams for the weight or mass, okay? Then the next unit that we're going to be looking at is going to be talking about volume. And so think of, we know in our head what a 2-liter bottle looks like, what a 1-liter bottle looks like, and a 1 liter is just a little bit more than a quart. And so a gas tank of a compact car holds about 50 liters of gasoline. And one of the things in your homework you're going to have to do is you're going to have to be able to decide what is a good measurement for a specific item, okay? So we use this phrase, King Henry died by drinking chocolate, I'm going to abbreviate that one, milk. And each one of those letters stands for a prefix of the metric system. So K is for kilo, H is for hecto, and I put this one DA is for deca because that is different than the D, which is deci. And then C is centi, and M is milli. And so the one right here in the middle, this is going to be referring to my base. So my base is either going to be the meter, the gram, or the liter, okay, depending on what we are measuring. So we want to make sure that we know what we're measuring, and you'll see that each one of these measurements is some form of power of 10 based on the meter, or based on the base, excuse me, okay? So it is all just about moving the decimal point in what direction and how we're going to go through this process. So if we are starting, and I always like to write it up here, King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. And so if I am going to start at meters, if I have a single letter, and you might want to put this, a single letter is going to indicate your base, okay? So I'm going from meters, which is here, to kilometers, which is here, or kilometers, however you want to put the emphasis on the syllable. So you are going to count how many places and what direction. 1, 2, 3. So you are going to move 3 places the decimal point to the left. And so I just count 1, 2, 3, and so that becomes 0.4573 kilometers. And you don't leave off any numbers in that conversion. Don't just put 0.45 or just 0.4, okay? You have to have all numbers. So again, now we're going to go, I'll change the color here. For B, we're going to go from grams, which again is the base, and I'm going to go to centigrams. So 1, 2, so I move 2 spaces to the right. Remember that your decimal point is after the 4, so I'm going to add 2 zeros. So 14 grams is equal to 1,400 centigrams, okay? Now we go from liters. So liters again is my base, and I'm going to go to milliliters. 1, 2, 3. So I move it 3 places to the right. And so I have 0.98. 1, 2, 3. I have to fill in with a 0. So 980 milliliters. And then that last one, decaliters. So anytime you have 3 letters, that's the first D, okay? So let's change the color here. Decaliters is right here. And so I am going to kiloliters. So 1, 2, 2 places to the left. So 240, here's my decimal point, 2 places becomes 2.4. You can leave off that 0. Kiloliters, okay? So here's some for you to practice. Again, I would just do my King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. I'll give you a second to look at those, and then I will fill in the correct answers. So 5 meters is equal to 5,000 millimeters. 42.9 hectograms is equal to 4,290 grams. 0.063 liters is equal to and there should be 4 zeros, 63 kiloliters. 8 decameters is equivalent to 80 meters. And 186.2 centimeters is equivalent to 1.862 meters. And the last one, 9.32 milliliters, is equal to 0.00932 liters, okay? Now the next one, you need to make sure that you're in the same unit, okay? So must be in the same unit. And I think it's easier is always to convert to the smallest unit. Okay, that way you don't have to worry about decimals. So what I'm going to do over here is I have decameters, I have kilometers, and I have centimeters. So I'm going to take everything and convert it into centimeters. So 620 centimeters. I'm going to convert 4.4 decameters into centimeters, and then I'm going to convert 0.52 kilometers into centimeters. So again, I write my King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. And so going from decameters to centimeters, 1, 2, 3. So I'm moving 3 places to the right. So that gives me 1, 2, 3, 4,400 centimeters. And then I'm going from kilometers to centimeters. So now I'm starting here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm moving 5 places to the right. So that gives me 52 1,000 centimeters. So we're going to put it in smallest to largest. And really, guys, I mean, you don't necessarily have to convert these because they are, the smallest is going to be the centimeters. And so these are going to be multiple choice that you're going to have to choose from. So 620 centimeters would be the smallest. Then it would be 4.4 decameters would be the next. And then 0.52 kilometers would be the largest. Okay, and so now here we've got liters, centiliters, and kilometers, and these numbers are very close. So I probably want to convert all of these to the smallest unit, which will be centiliters. So I'm going to have 420 centiliters. I'm going to convert 4.3 liters into centiliters, and I'm going to convert 0.045 kiloliters into centiliters. So writing out my little verse, I look and I see, starting with liters, which is my base, I go 1, 2 to the right. So that gives me 430 centiliters. And then going from kiloliters, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the right. So that becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. So 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4,500 centiliters. Okay. So the smallest is 420 centiliters. The next smallest is 4.3 liters, and the largest is 0.045 kiloliters. And again, you know, you could probably get away with doing that one just by looking at the units. Centiliters is the smallest, liters is the next, and kiloliters is the largest. So now we're going to go into the applications. And the good thing about these applications is that they're not that difficult. It's just looking at a difference or a sum or, you know, some sort of basic operation between measurements and then converting them, okay? So you want to make sure that when you're looking at the two measures that you're comparing, that they are in the same unit, and they are. So we want to know how many meters higher is Pikes Peak than Mount Fuji. So we're going to take 4,302 meters and subtract 3,776 meters, and that says that we have a difference of 526 meters. Then the next part wants to take that number, 526 meters, and convert it to centimeters. So here's my decimal point. Going from King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk, I'm starting at the base and I'm going to go 2 places to the right. So that's 52,600 centimeters. Then we want to go in the other direction. We're going to take 526 meters and we're going to convert it to hectometers. So we're going to start at meters and go 2 spaces to the left. So that would make it 5.26 hectometers. Okay, so the next one we have Deandra takes 2 250 milligram chewable tablets each day. Okay, so 2 times 250 milligrams says that she takes 500 milligrams a day. Okay, and then we want to know how much she's going to take in a week. So 500 milligrams a day times 7 days in a week. And so that would be 3,500 milligrams. And then we want to convert milligrams to grams. So we go King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. We're going from milligrams, 1, 2, 3 places to the left. So 3,500 milligrams is equal to 3.5 grams. All right. I believe this is the last one. So I'm going to just kind of got a picture frame here. Let's go ahead and draw it. So we've got this picture. A painting includes the frame, and it measures 74 centimeters by 99 centimeters. And we want to know how many centimeters of framing were needed to frame this picture. So this side is 74, and this side is 99. And so we're just going to either add them all up, or we're going to use the perimeter formula. So perimeter is twice the length plus twice the width. So 2 times 74 plus 2 times 99 gives me 346 centimeters. And then they want to convert that to millimeters. So 346 centimeters equals how many millimeters? So King Henry died by King Chocolate Milk. We're starting at centimeters. We're going one place to the right. So that becomes 3,460 millimeters. And that finishes 7.1.